I'm an architect, and I'm coming from there. Probably you know, it's Austria, almost the same population, but 4 times bigger in the shape of the land, but 8.5 million people. And somewhere in the middle of Austria, there is a big production line of office furniture, where I had the luck in the mid of the 80s to be as an architect, the architect of this building, of the headquarter building of this company. And this company's name is Bene. And since then, I'm in steady contact with Bene. Since 1996, I'm head of innovation, head of design, and working for the product development of the product portfolio of Bene. Our ambition is to, our emphasis is in the future of work, so we are not looking what is right common in the market, but we are looking always ahead and try to be first in that offering to the market what people might need in future. So that's the reason why, I missed some words about Bene. Now you know Bene. Didi Lenz is member of Bene, but who is Bene? Who the hell is Bene? Bene is a company from Austria with, today I said, from Europe eastwards, we are everywhere present. And in a few weeks, we are also present in Tel Aviv in a common showroom together with Technion at Gloval. Yeah? Yep. So that's the situation of Bene. And as I said before, we're diving into research, and we have published a future of work report, which close relationship to your topic, where we made interviews with about 40, 45 people around the world from different disciplines, asking them for their opinion what will be the main issues we have to handle in future. These are, it should come, these 4 main challenges is the digital transformation as the mother of all transformations. There are some more transformation, more technical disruptions, the biotech disruption and the artificial intelligence, but the mother of all transformations will be the digital transformation. And then how to deal with it, we need urgently a new kind of leadership. A leadership that is enabling people to do something different from that what they had to do in the past. And that's very important. A new ability of leaders has to be improved so that innovation and transformation can happen. The next thing we have to learn is we have to give our work a purpose. And when you start studying architecture, so the same when I did, I had an illusion what for I'm studying architecture, what I'm going to do in my future. So something to achieve, and that's a basic right everybody should have in his work. And it will be more and more necessary in future, because the purpose probably will be the only remaining thing that is left as a human fact, because everything else is by algorithm and machines and robots done. So we have the own choice to do the things that we think that are necessary to be done. Yeah? And finally, as we are not single human beings, we are a common thing on earth. We have to exercise collaboration, real collaboration. And I will come back to that again, what that really means, collaboration. Because I'm not only showing our future of work report, it will probably more or less deal with facts that you already mentioned it in the session before. The more decisive is what's coming from the future that is told by a man of your country, and probably he is even more heard outside your country. And it's the fate of many people that they are outside more heard than inside the country. Harari, in his 3 books, are telling, you could take it as a horrible story, but as a warning story about that what is happening in close future. And I guess to think about this will be the real purpose of engagement that your generation of students will find, how to deal with these dangers that will come from the digital transformation or the technical disruptions. And Harari is calling them the 3 main threats. The nuclear war, we already got something, okay, it's there, but it's always there, and we have to get rid of this danger. And there is coming, and who has read already Harari's books knows about the biotech developments that, as he says, correct, that will not only know all our movements, and they will not only watch us what we are doing, they will even know what is happening within our bodies. Yeah? In terms of to achieve a further developed healthcare, we will open up our bodies, we will open-hearted give all the data of that, how we work, and out of that the artificial intelligence will exactly know how people react on the surrounding, that's the name for rights.
Environment.
What impressions you have, you react, and that's only a chemical reaction. It's not by intent. He says that nobody has a free will. All what we think that we are doing is a reaction of chemicals. So, but not forget the third threat, the climate change. We already in Europe detected very open, so we see it. We have still snow at this time in our countryside, so the climate warmth brings up completely different seasons. You have snow until short before summer starts, and then immediately it's very hot. So everything is changing, and we have to deal with these 3 main threats, and that will be decisive for the future of work, because they will give us the purposes what we are working for. So that's what I'm trying to do, to make an overlay, but from the 4 topics, from the 4 topics out of our future report, with the 3 main threats of Harari's books. And let's say that digital transformation should switch aside, because it's, as I said, the mother of the technical disruptions that we are heading. The leadership is something we have not in our, once we give a vote to our leaders, then it's completely in their hands what happened. We have no power about to decide if there's a nuclear war or not. It will be done by our leaders. So it's not possible to interfere there. Only once in a time when we give a vote to someone, and then we trust completely in them. So it's not in our power. But the purpose of work and the open collaboration that could be done by you, by us. So it's us to find a new purpose and to practice a new purpose in a new way of collaborating. What does that mean? What further on are we working for? It's just for salary, it's just for honor, which what do you really want to achieve? And very decisive, how can we define us new? When robots and algorithms will take 80% of all our duties that gave content to our life because it is fulfilled by the algorithms, we have to define us new, and the us does not mean everybody has to find for himself their own solution. The us means all of us, and not nation. By nation has to find a solution, but the whole humankind has to find a solution. The us will be the new beginning of a story. You remember Harari is saying history is just a big number of stories. Some stories just last for 10 years, many stories last for longer terms. All religions are nothing else but stories, but they give the boundary to the community. So, but what we have now, we have several different stories on Earth, and it's very difficult to bring all these stories together. And what Harari is saying, we need the starting point of a new story, and the new story is based upon the three threads. Yeah? We can solve these three threads only if we find a new starting point of a common story, of a new defined us. And the right moment is now, because us is in danger to lose the purpose of work, is lose a labor, because robots will do most of it, and even the free will is in danger because, as you know, fake news, wrong information will lead people in wrong decision making, in wrong directions of action. So it's very urgent that we find a new status for our us. So that was the philosophical part. You as a young generation who is going to Mindspace or to any other co-working space as a young one-man show, young entrepreneur, startup, has in his mind, what is my purpose of work here on Earth? What will I try to make different from past days? Yeah? And it's not the way how it feels well in the space that brings you to the solution. It's not the comfort there. It's the real reason for your work. If you find a reason, if you find a target for you, you will hurry after. And honestly speaking, I guess most of these young people, they're just looking for their way, for a perspective of a new story that is including all of us and not only a single entity. So that's the reason why I guess workspace will look more like laboratories. And a favorite movie of mine is Blade Runner, and you remember it's exactly in the year 2019, told the story of Los Angeles, and it looks pretty like that. You go to a Chinese, get some food, and go behind the scenes of the bar, and then behind he has a laboratory where he has the next big invention. And we are going into an era where everybody of us is experimenting with your input that you are giving to a fruitful future. And that's what we try to introduce to schools. Let's experiment, let's exercise, let's try and error, let's find new solutions. The important thing is that the good solutions get funding. And that not only money is running in the old economy, in the old supporting um, um, industries or even the tech industries, but the new money should find a way to fund a good future. Yeah? So that's what I expect from the future. What have I done in my responsibility for an office furniture producer? You would ask, what's your part? You're making these tables, or what's that? No, we introduced a different side on that what furniture is delivering. Furniture is like a puzzle game that gives you several solutions, that you can build out of that anything that you need. And that was the idea to build, to develop building blocks. We call them then the pixel. It will be by taking on the Bene box, sold in Tel Aviv as well. And the pixel or Bene box is a component. Out of that you can build workshop situations as well as professional situations. As a pop-up store, you can put in furniture for event locations. You can use it in different manners. So it's a tool for creativity, it's a tool for fantasy, it's a tool to do things at 80% perfection, but different from that what have happened until yet. So it's a tool, it's an enabling tool. And that's what I'm expecting from the future, that we look more on the enabling, not on measuring and on so, but building up opportunities, something unexpected to come, something unexpected to be developed. That's the more decisive for scoping with the future. Last slide. For our company, it's a big transition tool as well, because we started with the Pixel tool, also new business models. We have Pixel for rent, we have spaces for rent, workshop rooms, creative spaces that we rent to organizations or to groups of people who want to have the creative, inspiring space for their workshops. So unfortunately we have not Pixel here. It would have been quite more healthy, because you would not sit all the time, you would be always moving, and there would be more interaction. Hopefully next time we will find there a lot of Pixel. Thanks.